Hello, everybody. Hello, Maya. Happy to have you with me today.
Hello, happy to be here.
Hello. Hello, everybody, again. Welcome to today's webinar. This webinar is brought to you by our team, Intilco Advisors. We are a consulting firm and we are focusing right now on the new regulations, BIM, AI, and automations. And we saw that there was lots of interest and questions, need from people about AI in construction. So, in order to celebrate, let's say, the release of our second module in our AI in construction course, we decided to keep the conversation going after the successful masterclass and the previous webinar that was about AI in construction as well. And we want to invite everybody to share your opinion and your insights in the comments during the meeting. It's going to be great to hear what everybody has to say about their experience or their questions about this very interesting and important topic for our sector. So I think it's time to get started. Let's talk about the agenda for today. But before I jump into the agenda, I want also to mention a small teaser. We're going to talk about it later as well. That we are starting a new series from next 2 weeks, and it's going to be about AI in construction mostly again, and with special guests from around the industry who will be sharing their insights with us. So please make sure to register and be there. So let's get into the agenda pretty quickly. We have three topics as always. The first topic is about the construction product data phase. So we're going to explore how artificial intelligence is supporting this part. Second topic, the design phase. So we're going to be getting more into structural analysis, plugins, and all the engineering part of the building process. And then final topic, number three, is going to be about site and facility management. And we're going to, in that way, we can explore all parts of the construction process all together. So before we get started, Maya will give you the first topic. But first, let's introduce our special guest for today, Magdalena Wyszkowski. Hello, Magda.
Hello, Satira. Hello, Maya. Nice to meet
Hello,
you
Magda.
again.
Very happy to have you with us in the discussion. I think this topic, especially the first one about construction product data, really speaks to you. So I think it will be great to hear your opinion and your insight on it.
Exactly. I think this is some kind of this has happened on the market since now like 1.5 years. We have the coming digital product passport, and this is a big change in the transformation, digital transformation of whole sector of the construction. Why? Because digital product passport is providing us the data of the manufacturers in the structured way. And today on the market, and I think this is we can confirm, when you go to the manufacturer's website of the building products, then you can see that still the data is provided in the format of the PDF. Times to times you can download BIM objects, but the data is not really structured as it should be. So this is really giving us some kind of the reminder that the data is like a basis for the digitalization, and the data for the construction is coming from the manufacturers, and there is a big gap to bridge.
Yes, and I think it's worth to mention for those who don't know what DPP is actually. It's a digital product passport, and it's a standardized way to track the data about the product through the whole life cycle. So what is made of, where it came from, the carbon footprint, and it's going to be mandated across European Union and under the eco design regulation. So I think, the question is whether we start to structure the data in a proper way right now, and we act proactively, or we wait for the deadlines to land, and then we're gonna panic and then like on the last minute trying to structure it in a proper way.
And I think this is a good point, because this is a connection. So the eco design is really how we design our projects and how we use the product that could support eco design. So this is about carbon emission, the footprint, the recyclability or reuse of the materials. And this is like an ongoing shift now on the market, and it's really concerning not only manufacturers but also architects, that they are aware. And also from the manufacturer's point of view, I think there is something that is really a rethink about the core of the business. So we have a product that we deliver to the market, but if you want to sell those products in the future, we will need to provide digital product passport. They will be used also in BIM environment.
Yes,
Yeah.
as we know, like the data are right now, I guess, trapped, and they are pretty static within the PDFs and all the data sheets that contains the information about the products. So the question right now is like how the AI can help us extract the proper data and map them within the standards and be compliant with the regulations. So yeah, maybe the question. So when it comes to construction product data, where we currently failing, and how AI can help us structure the data.
I think on this point we have some examples to show, but we really believe that AI can support us, and we are really working on the use of AI, but in this area. And this is some kind of the collaboration to understanding also what are the use cases when data, which data and when should be used, and how we can structure. And maybe Sotiria, you can give us some kind of the insights what we are doing already in this area.
Yes. So basically, to answer this question, Maya, you already mentioned that we know that all the manufactured data is trapped in static forms like PDFs or unstructured catalogs. But what we saw with our team was that there is a way to use artificial intelligence, so to not have to do all the work manually, and extract this data and map it, so we can have it in a machine readable form. And in that way, we can share and use information much more effectively. So we came up with the data framer, which I think, Camilla, if you can show, please, the video, the demo that we have. So this is a little project that we have going on. It's still under construction, let's say. The goal is that we use the static files, we extract the data from it directly, and mostly focusing on the information that is needed for the digital product passport. And in that way, we can, after have all this data successfully mapped into BSDD and also be downloaded in IFC form. And I think it's a pretty great solution in order to be able to extract the data and get someone transferred into the digital world instead of the static one. I'm be very happy to have people who are working around this also to share insights and collaborate on this topic as well. It's something that we're really interested in and working right now.
I think this is also so maybe just like from the experience. Today, many manufacturers provide the combination of the product or the product itself in the IFC files or Revit native files like Revit or Archicad. But there is no reflection or visible on the market how we, before providing the data, how we structure it. And this data framer is really responding to this goal, how we structure the data that we can use then in the BIM environment and in the BIM generation. And what we will be doing, this we can share maybe in a couple of weeks. It's connection from a data framer to the generation of the IFC files.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, Magda. And I think also we can mention that with this kind of tool, the focus can be split into different types and categories. So first of all, we have the data extraction, which is very important and a great first step to have all the structured data to work on around and then use AI for further implementation. But at the same time, we can also focus on the sustainability part and the compliance part that this tool is offering. So we can have artificial intelligence check all the product data against the green building certifications or against local regulations. So then we can move forward and skip this tiring and time-consuming mostly process of having to check everything for compliance.
Exactly. And maybe, I don't know if we invite, but if there is an audience and a question from audience, please feel free to share this on the chat so we can follow.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and I think we can like jump like to the second topic, because like we're talking about the tools that actually help us like be more efficient, optimize and automate some of the processes. And I think it's like a switch itself, and we can talk about tools and the different processes that AI can help us on a daily basis. And we mentioned like this is actually the transformation from the traditional approach of cut and beam to the AI assisted generative design and structural calculations and optimization. So maybe the second question, how do you think AI is shifting the role of the engineer in the design and construction phase?
I think there is some kind of augmentation of the capacity of the engineers, because AI, we can see this as a tool, not really as a decision maker, but giving you the possibility to pilot, to execute a lot of variants, to simulate a different option for the project, and maybe just to give us some kind of the dream what could be also done for the construction. We can have a look what's happened already for the aviation sector, which are quite advanced comparing to us. And I will try to share. Let me try to share the video that I found during the preparation of this webinar. And this is bionic partition. Please tell me if you see something.
Yes, we can see your
Yes,
screen.
we can see.
Can see, and yes, and this is just a project that was done by one of the main player in the BIM environment, so Autodesk, and with the Airbus team, to find a way how they can provide the plane which is lighter, and which because this is one of the topics for the planes that are very heavy, how we can use AI to simulate the new structure of the plane. This plane should be delivered by 2050, so it's around 15 years from now. But they started the project in 2016. And they have used both teams. They have used this approach of the generative design to structure the new construction of Airbus. And I really believe that there is something that we can reuse as a concept into construction industry.
Yes, and I think we using it right now, and there's like some use cases that we can see in construction sector also, because like traditionally and in the engineers, they run the load analysis, they don't like the result, they adjust the section and they run the tests again. What AI give us is like shrinking this loop and actually compress it, and instead of like running just a few structural variation, AI can simulate thousands of them. And I think we can see like right now the use cases of the reinforcements layouts. So we can also AI can explore the density, the slab thickness, and we can change like a lot of different factors that actually optimize the usage and the layout of the reinforcement. And also like with the bridge structures, the steel beams designs, we have a lot of use cases, but I think for more of the use cases, like I could invite like our audience also to our course of AI in BIM that we created with Tilk Advisors, and we're mentioning a lot of those use cases there, and I think it's really worth to check it also.
And I also like that we show use cases about AI in DPP specifically, so more project and data oriented, but also smart city wise. So it's different levels of use cases.
Exactly. So this is what we are trying to bring also, because using AI is important, and it's, as we said, very hype. But before using AI, this is a lot of knowledge, a lot of understanding. Also, how to use the data, how to structure the data, how to get the data. And we know that for some AI topics, we missed the data. For example, now the people who are selling the old books, they are asked to provide books to give the food for the AI engines. So it's the same for the construction project or for the manufacturing projects. And I think DPP will be one of the best food container for AI once we will have this in place. Because then we will really use the data all of the products used in the construction. The issue is maybe also, or the issue, or maybe the challenge is how to optimize the products itself, to provide the products that will be fitting with the regulation of the eco design. So it's like a loop. Data is the connector, and how we can feed the BIM environment and BIM process with the right data as well.
Yeah, exactly. And actually, we spoke about a lot of use cases, but like coming back to the question, where do you see the role of the engineer in the design and construction phase? We see, like, we talk about the AI influence, but what about the engineers? Are we going to lose the jobs, or what's going to happen with us? Like, how do you feel
No,
about
I
it?
think that you will lose the jobs, and I think we touched the point on this last time. I think it's not about losing the job, but it's upskilling the people, because AI give you the possibility to better design, to better build the construction, but you need to also understand how it works, right? And we see, even on the daily works with the cloud, people says staying on the stage of using only prompt, etc., but not using the competencies, the skills, or others, features. So it's the same for the engineers. You need to understand the technology behind, and you need to also build your knowledge. We call it the knowledge base. So the data that you will use for to run the AI, and for which use case. And the use cases are quite important, because if you run for running, doesn't make sense. It's really for the specific object. And this engineering understanding of the project is the most crucial. So it will be not AI driven; it will be engineering driven, and using AI as a tool, as a very augmented tool.
Yes.
I think it's pretty much like every other tool that's been coming out and changing the industry. Like I think the strongest example would be AutoCAD, let's say, or like a CAD software. We didn't lose the architects or the people who were doing the drawings before. They were just doing it on paper, and then they moved to the computer. The only ones that lost the job was the ones who were not willing to learn the software. So
Yeah.
it's pretty much the same. Like the one who is not willing to learn the new way of working, they're going to lose their job. But whoever is interested and willing to upskill themselves, they will not lose their job. They will still remain competent and be able to work.
Yeah, I personally believe in the continuous learning, and I think I am a good example of the continuous learning. So for me, if you want to stay, in the professional life, and to be always up to date, today we live in the time that we cannot just focus on what we have learned 20 years ago. We need to learn and learn, and especially now technology is going so quickly that you need to be up to date if you want to use this in the daily work, right? So
Mhm.
it's also what we are doing as a telco advisors, because we see that there is some kind of the lack of this knowledge, that we're really looking for all of the news information, and we provide the courses to make people updated, and also some kind to certify the competences. But you can have a look on our Telco Academy website.
That is true. And I think all the insights shared in the Tilco Academy are really to the point and will help people get to understand how this new reality is operating. So I would highly recommend it. And I think it's now a great pass to jump into the third topic for today, which was more about the living phase of the building, facility management, and how is the predictive maintenance post construction can be done using artificial intelligence to optimize the time needed. So the question to you, Magda, is how do you think that AI is going to bridge this gap between the physical construction site and the long-term facility management? Because we know that now, even though the technology has moved on, it's still pretty difficult to hand over the information successfully to the facility managers right after the whole construction process is completed.
I think this is AI. It will be. It's already as a missing element of the Lego that we already started to build. So I remember, I don't know, 10 years ago we started to use the drones to scan the job site. It was quite difficult in Europe. It was easier in the US to get the permission to fly over the project. And we use this only to create the point cloud. Today, with AI, we can also create as a build a record for the future maintenance. The second topics maybe is about product itself. I always come back to product, because for me this is the source of the data, of the trusted data. And today we have the standards that, like GS1 standard with the identification numbers, unique identifiers for the product or for the characteristic. If we add them also to the product data, and then we can run with AI, FM people, so FM team will know exactly which product were installed where, what is the maintenance time, what is, can I recycle, should I replace it? So this is something that today with AI we have this possibility. But as I said, it's not AI itself. We need to use it as a tool for the specific use case, for specific needs. And especially for the FM, it was always the question how we can use BIM for FM, because it was about the question was always which data we should put on the beginning of the process to reuse this when we are on the facility management time. And I think today, by the connection and using AI, we can make this process really work.
Yes,
Exactly.
yeah.
No. Go ahead, Maya.
No. Just to have a point with like how to use BIM in a FM, and I think it's really important to also like switch the mind. Like the BIM model itself, it's not finishing in the design phase. Like we need to, and even in construction phase, we need to fill the data. We need to just make this digital twin living, and keep saturating the model itself with the data that like in a facility management like people can use. So.
But today we have some just maybe I just jumped. Today we have already the tools on the market that, for example, allowing use AI or automation for research of the specific information in the documentation of the project and during during the construction phase. And having this, people are looking for this. So engineers are looking for this, or subcontractors are looking for this information, validation, if this is, compliant with the project requirements. But also with AI, it will allow us very quickly to produce some digital record or digital logbook of the project itself. So it's really about. I think AI was missing part, like data was a missing part of the process. The difference between now and around 15 years ago, that it's developing so quickly that we need to really, catch the train.
Exactly. And another topic that I also really like when it comes to facility management and artificial intelligence is also the concept of the living digital twin, which is also a pretty hot topic in the industry right now, the digital twins. But I think there are many countries that are implementing it now in the smart city system. And let's say we have many use cases in Scandinavia, as we know in Europe, they are very advanced when it comes to BIM and technology in construction, as well as Spain. Well, so we heard in Porto in the Building Smart International Summit, two ladies from Spain who were explaining how they use the digital twin and artificial intelligence into the workflow and handling issues around the city. But I think the best one that I was very interested in, and I want to show a quick clip of a video that I found about it, is in China. A couple of hours outside of Beijing, they're building a new area, and they decided that it's going to be fully digital. So every building and every element inside the city has its own digital twin, and they are showing the interaction that the buildings can have between each other, collect data, and in that way save lots of energy and also time for the engineers to do the full facility management. So if you allow me to share my screen pretty quickly, I think it's really nice to see. It's called Xiong'an. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly, this name of the area. And basically what they're talking about here is that they use the digital technology to make the city smarter, and they have 153 kilometers of digital roads where they're able, through sensors, to collect data from poles and from vehicles in order to reduce the traffic jams and to make the city move faster. And all the communications and heat, gas, electronics are installed below in underground channels. So that way they don't have to interfere with the traffic, and they're able to collect all the useful data from those sources. And I think it's really great. It shows how more advanced we can be and what are the possibilities. And at the same time, an extra thing that I really liked, because I really value nature, What they did was in every single tree that has been planted inside this new area of the city, it has a QR code. So in that way, they can monitor how the nature inside the city and around is growing. And I think this is also a really nice green approach to what we can do with technology. Not only when we talk about construction in the building part or the pipes and everything, but also taking a look around nature.
Yeah, I think will be, yeah, as we said, it's developing so quickly, and of course, depending of the countries, what is the focus. But we see also in Europe, there is really focus on the European Union on the digitalization on the different project going around. I think just for the purpose of the Stilco talk with Stilco advisors, we are really aiming to bring the knowledge also about AI, about BIM and DPP together. So we are also happy, if somebody has a good examples how you use on your project or in your working practice, just to share with us. Because as Sotirias mentioned on the beginning, we will invite now the professionals starting from the next webinar, and we are happy also to discuss with you. So I wanted just to highlight this point, because it's really important that we create some kind of the community also around this topic and support each other. Is very new. It's changing really the way how we are working, operating. So it's good also to share.
That's right. That's right. Maya, from your side, is there any use case or an example that you have in mind that you want to add to the discussion?
Yes, actually, I have like two slides prepared. Like it's from the video that I also watched the other time. It's from the guys from Autodesk, and it's all about the like as-built designing, and this is like the how the digitalization is also working in that, and this is the use case to see in construction actually it's happening. So first, this is like the back in the day approach and workflow that we were capturing all the measurements and manually extract the information. We were also manually calculate everything and modeling into the layouts. And then right now, like I remember, like I think like 2 years ago, like in my university, I was doing a project with the cloud of points, and we were scanning the building with the special laser scan. And Camila, if I can ask you for the next slide, thank you. So we were like capturing the reality, and based on this cloud, I remember I was designing everything manually. But currently, we have a lot of plugins, and this is just the example of Bimeto AI. This is a plugin for Revit that actually can extract and see the structure of the building and automatically create the components and the whole design. So here in the design process, I think like we can see how we can use it, and also like post design with the facility management. With the projects that don't have like currently the digital twins, we can really restructure it and make it useful for those cases.
That's really great. So, Magda, you want to say something? Or there.
Just I think it's good to share all of the examples around. From our side, we are also working on the development of the project with the some academia, mostly focus on the structuring of the data and using AI agent. And this will be showing also, in the coming webinars as we progressing on the topics.
Mm-hmm. And I see that we are right on time. So thank you very much, ladies, for keeping the time. So I think to wrap up, one quick message, let's say, before we say our goodbyes, would be to give the motivation to companies and individuals to invest in artificial intelligence, not to be scared of it, not to avoid it, because it's a new reality. So whether we like it or not, we need to get started and implement to grab all the advantages that we can have from it, like every other tool. So in that way, I would also welcome everybody to join our academy, because this is what we are also trying to do, to spread the knowledge around artificial intelligence in construction. So our new training module about AI construction is here, and it's a pretty nice start, I believe, with someone who wants to know what to do, how to get started. I think it's pretty good to also get inspiration from all the use cases around the world, from more advanced countries. And the last message, I think it would be to start with clean data, as always. I think Magda, this resonates with you very much.
Always, data is the new fuel for
Mhm.
everything, and especially for AI.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and I think it's worth to mention from the perspective of the owner of the companies that actually structured data can save you money and actually save you time, because like AI with the structured data can actually automate like slow and document heavy processes. So it's just about like mapping it, understand the data input, and ask the question how I can implement AI within these processes. So I think like that's what we more or less answering in our course also.
Exactly. I think time is money, so it's very important for the engineering sector. So thank you, ladies, for being here today, for having the discussion. Also, big thank you to our audience for joining us today and listening to the conversation. Of course, we're always open for discussion and connection even after the webinars, if not during. And please make sure to register on our next webinar, which is going to be with an expert from the industry coming from Brazil, Elias Mangalesh. We will be very happy to have him with us. And please also make sure to join and check out our Tilco Academy and our podcast, which is also focused on the new technologies, BIM and AI in construction. I think it will be a very nice resource for people who want to have a quick listen with their morning coffee about the news and how things are progressing in the construction sector when it comes to new technology. So thank you very much, and we will see you in 2 weeks, as always.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.